Alright Dad, what you're looking at here is my gas tank, which will be different to what you're going to be using. You're probably going to be using a forklift gas tank. That right there is the gas lock that I've sent you. There's one right at the entrance of my tank. It's to shut off the gas from allowing it to travel any further than the tank. Alright, two hoses come out of my tank. One is the filler and one goes up to the unit. You don't have to worry about the filler because that's going to be a direct source from your tank. Alright, so I'm just going to get underneath or out of underneath the car. Oh, I just have hosing running up from that tank all the way up to the unit and regulator. Now what we have here is another gas lock, as you would recognize as to what I've sent you. We have two here because of legal matters. You don't have to have two. You need the one at the tank so that you can shut it off from the tank with a switch in your car. They use very little current. A 10 amp switch is more than enough. I've sent you a switch which you can use to cut the gas off. Gas lock, very simple. Positive to the gas lock itself and make sure that the gas lock itself is earthed. Simple as that. In this application we have the pipe coming right down from the bottom, very hard to see from here. There we can see it now. That pipe comes up to the gas lock. In through the gas lock I've made a bracket to mount all of this to the car in between the two. So from the gas lock it travels to the regulator and the pressure gets regulated before it travels into the unit. Now all of my stuff is together just because it all fits together, but it can be separated by using universal fittings and hosing, no problem at all. Right, now this part of the unit controls when the unit is activated by boost. So as we've engraved on the unit at the bottom, a hose that comes anywhere from your turbo's boosted area, closest source, it could even come off your intercooler, runs down into the bottom of the unit, and what that does is that activates a diaphragm within the unit to allow delivery of the gas, which is pre-regulated by the regulator. Alright, now setting the unit up for initial use, what you want to do is you want to open it up and you want to just put a little bit of tension on the spring. So you want to turn it until you can feel that the spring inside is tensioned, and then you want to turn it about one more revolution. That'll allow it to not deliver boost during idle. Okay, the regulator all the way out anti-clockwise is less gas, and turning clockwise and inwards delivers more gas. So you want to start with it all the way out and slowly turn your way in half a turn by half a turn until you start getting gas. Alright, so like I said, with the unit, turning the brass knob in so that you can start feeling it tightening against the spring, which means it's clamping against the diaphragm, not allowing gas to pass through. You want to lock it there about a full turn after the initial feel of the spring, if you know what I mean. Alright, it's as simple as that. Then on the unit there's an in and there's an out, which I've marked. The out goes, what you want to do is make the output run along and enter the turbo. This is where it enters my turbo. You want to try and get it about 30 centimeters away from the turbo's fins. That allows it to mix better. You don't want it too close to the turbo's fins. Bear in mind, very important, it needs to be after the crankcase pressure that comes out of your tappet cover. So this here is my crankcase pressure going back into my intake system. The gas needs to be after that, otherwise in the event of a mishap you could get gas going into your crankcase. Kaboom. Alright, so we've got the input after where our breather valve goes, or crankcase ventilation pipe. That's the input of the gas, and the turbo is about 30 centimeters underneath that, hidden away in this application. It's as simple as that.